So the Assassin's Creed series changed a lot, especially in the last 5 years, when we went from these single-player short open-world games to these massive 100-hour RPG games, and I feel like a lot of players are confused, just like I was. In case you don't know, my first Assassin's Creed game was Black Flag, and then I took a break and continued from Origins, and now I had the honor and privilege of finally owning a gaming PC and being able to go back to the older games and play them for the first time. So I played everything from Assassin's Creed 1 up until Syndicate, and I have a lot to say about it obviously. I didn't get to experience them before, and I feel like a lot of people are in my place and they don't know what to play next, how to play it, where to play it, is it even good, is it worth the time. That's why today I'm making this ranking. I'm ranking the Assassin's Creed games all through 1 to 13, but because that's a lot of games to rank, it's gonna take me like hours to talk about them, so I'm splitting up the video into 3. This video is about the last 5 games in the series from 10 to 13th spot. So these are the last 5 games that I'm gonna rank in the Assassin's Creed series. The next video is gonna be about the middle 5, and then the final video is gonna be about my top 3 Assassin's Creed games of all time. So if you're a new player, you don't know what to play yet, you played one Assassin's Creed game, or maybe you didn't play any and you just wanna play them now in preparation for Shadows, this video is for you. Let me know what you think. Remember, this is just my opinion, so if you don't agree with what I'm gonna say or you don't agree with the ranking, don't get offended and just let me know down in the comments what you think about it. So starting off with number 13, that's gonna be Assassin's Creed 1. It's very straightforward with not much content after finishing the story. That's my main problem with the game. Even though it started the series and it's the godfather of Assassin's Creed, and Altair is a great character and I love what they did with him with the other games, but this game doesn't have too much to offer compared to the newer ones. Customization is basically non-existent, it's janky and glitchy by today's standards, and there are multiple locations, which does add variety and hit home personally for me because I do live in Jerusalem, so that is more of a personal point that I give the game. But like I said, it's just too janky and it doesn't offer as much as the newer games offer. If you're looking for something fast, short, and an introduction to Assassin's Creed, and if you do have a PC, then I would recommend you play it. If you don't have a PC, I'm not sure if you can even play it because there is no remaster, there's no way to play this game as far as I know. And if you do own a PC, it's gonna take you a little trouble here and there to troubleshoot the game and make it work as it should, because it is glitchy like I said, but it is worth it if you didn't play it before. It's a fun time and it's good to see where the series started. You can see the roots of Assassin's Creed in this game. The soundtrack is great, the characters are fun, even though they're not that deep, and the locations are interesting, and the fact that there are 3 different cities in this game, really, I mean, actually it's kind of impressive that they did that with the first Assassin's Creed game, and it also adds to the variety and the fun and the historic feeling of the game, and the feel that you are in a world and not just in one city. Moving on to number 12, it's gonna be Assassin's Creed 2. Ezio Auditore's start. Ezio is a great character, most people know who he is, he's basically in most posters for Assassin's Creed. We all love him, we all know him, he is a fun character, he is one of the big assassins, and he is well written, and I do enjoy his journey in this game. There are multiple locations that are diverse, just like in Assassin's Creed 1, which adds to the variety and the fun that the locations offer. The gameplay is still as janky as Assassin's Creed 1 was. They didn't really figure out how the combat should work at this point, so you can block everything and just counterattack most enemies. The game is not that hard, stealth isn't that fleshed out, there's a lot of stuff missing, but you can't deny the charm of the game. It does have a great charm. Ezio is just a charming character, that's why it takes place 12 right after Assassin's Creed 1, because he's just more charming than Altair, even though Altair is a great character, but you know what it is, Ezio is fun, and it's technically kinda hard to run if you play on PC. That's one of the bad things about the game. I'm sure that you can play it on console through the Ezio trilogy thing, but that's only 30 FPS. So also that's not that recommended. If you have a PC, I would recommend you playing it, but you will need to figure out some settings here and there to make it run perfectly. And if you do that, the game is fun, it offers you a lot of missions to play, it offers you a lot of locations to see, it basically starts the story of Assassin's Creed, and the soundtrack is amazing. Ezio's Family is a song we all know, it's basically the theme of Assassin's Creed at this point, and it's just the start of what Assassin's Creed is as we know it today. Assassin's Creed 1 was more of a technical test as far as I am concerned. Assassin's Creed 2 is the start. It's what made Assassin's Creed what it is, and you can see everything in Assassin's Creed 2 and how it panned out and evolved to become Assassin's Creed as we know it today. And now at number 11, I'm gonna take a lot of shit for this, but it's Assassin's Creed Unity. It's not one of my favorite games. If you watched any of my other videos, you know why. I don't think that it's that replayable. I think that it's buggy. Even now, after all the massive upgrades that we got with PC builds and everything that we can do with mods, it still feels buggy. It's not polished, and it's such a shame because I think if Ubisoft gave the developers some more time, this game could have been a 10 out of 10. But as of now, as the way it released, it's just not that. It's not as immersive, the progression is confusing. Most of the time I didn't know where my skill points are, what I own and what I don't own between all the different customization options. The tools are limited, there's not that many of them, and stealth is just okay. It's not anything good. I think that Syndicate personally has better stealth, and even like Black Flag has better stealth in my opinion. It's just not that polished. This game had a lot of potential, and it just hurts me to say that I don't think it's as good as people say it is. You know, the whole open world of Paris is not as interesting in my eyes. This might be just a personal thing, but I think that every other setting that we got was more interesting than Paris. Maybe it's just the accents that ruined it for me, but even then, I feel like the game wasn't as polished as it should have been. Of course, there are bright spots in the game. The character designs are fun, the cutscenes look great. Even today, it looks better than the cutscenes we had in Mirage, that's for sure. And it has a lot of different options viable to you in gameplay, even though it's not really that well designed, but you can do a lot of different things. And there's co-op as well. Like, I never got to play co-op, but it's an amazing thing that we can play co-op Assassin's Creed in this big open world. That's just fun to do. That was a mind-blowing thing for me, and it's a shame that it didn't return, but it is one of the bright spots of this game. And Paris itself is very well designed, even though I don't really like the setting. Paris is a fun city. The rooftops are fun to parkour through. Even if it is janky, it looks fun, I guess. So the game isn't that bad. It's not all bad. It does have a lot of bright spots, and I can understand why people think this is their favorite, but for me personally, it takes the 11th spot. And now at number 10, this is a big one, Assassin's Creed Valhalla. If you watched any of my other videos, you know that I have a grudge against this game. It's not my favorite, and I said a lot of shit about it. But now I took a chance and I went back to replay the game. I finished the last DLC properly this time, and I played other kinds of stuff like the river raids and the mastery challenges, some stuff that we got that I didn't really get to experience before. And honestly, the game isn't as bad as I remember it being. Don't get me wrong, it doesn't make it good, but it's not bad or horrible as if maybe that's the impression that I gave in my other videos. So let's get into why exactly. Combat isn't as deep to last for as much as it does. I have like 200 hours in this game, and combat just doesn't hold up. For example, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, in my opinion, has combat that does hold up for 2,000 hours because it's deep. It's intricate, you can customize it, and it feels good to build your character. Assassin's Creed Valhalla is very much just simple, both with character customization and combat, and it doesn't hold up to deserve these 200 hours. Another thing that I don't like is the clothing is boring, in my opinion. Like, the Viking bulky clothing just doesn't fit Assassin's Creed, and I don't like the way it looks. Everything is just too golden. Every time you upgrade an armor set, it's just full of this ugly gold that I don't like. The voice acting is stiff and boring in my opinion. Eivor is just not as interesting as the other protagonists we got, both male and female Eivor. I think that the other protagonists all had a certain charm to them, even if they were boring or not fun or stuff like this. For example, Connor from Assassin's Creed 3, he doesn't like to have fun like Edward Kenway does, but he did have this secret charm to him. Connor is a charming character, most of the assassins are, and I feel like Eivor doesn't have that. Eivor is just a more boring character compared to every other protagonist we had in the series. But the game does have some good stuff about it, that's for sure, that I went back and appreciated more this time. First of all, the beautiful graphics. Sometimes it looks weird with the lighting if you are in specific areas, but most of the time the game looks stunning, looks great. especially the open world itself of England. Even if it is boring, at least it looks amazing. The graphics are really well done, and I do appreciate every little detail that Ubisoft put on it. And honestly, Ubisoft is one of the best companies in the whole industry when it comes to this feeling of living in an open world, and it shows in this game. The amount of content is very high for the price. That's another thing that I like. If you pay $60 for this game nowadays with the DLCs, you're gonna get way more than you probably expect. You can spend hours and hours and hours in this game for that money, and most people do calculate the expenses like that. For me, especially, I like to know how many hours I'm getting for the money. Another good thing about the game is the cross-save. Personally, because I own a PC and I also own the game on PlayStation, it feels great to have crossplay, so whenever I switch between the two, I can just complete my save and just go on from there. No need to copy saves or struggle with it. It's all good. That's a really good thing. And lastly, my main gripe with this game is the Viking era and the supernatural stuff. I think it wasn't done as well as it could have been. First of all, the Viking era is very overdone. I feel like I watched a shitload of Viking stuff in the past couple of years, both with their mythology and their history. I watched shows about Vikings. We all know Marvel and their characters, and God of War, and just there's a lot of stuff and Viking stuff that we had in the past couple of years, and it feels like the era and the theme is overdone, and it doesn't hold up to God of War, for example, in this game. All the mythological stuff in this game doesn't hold a candle to God of War, both Ragnarok and 2018. So that is my main gripe with the game, that the location and the whole point of it, the era, is just boring. And honestly, that's why I play Assassin's Creed game. I think you'll get that when you see my full ranking. I do value historical accuracy and the feeling of the world most in these Assassin's Creed games. And because the world isn't that interesting in my opinion for Assassin's Creed Valhalla, that's why it lands in number 10 and not higher. And at the highest rank of this video, the number 9 spot, is Assassin's Creed Revelations, the end of Ezio Auditore's journey. I made a specific video about Revelations, so if you're interested in hearing more about it, I do have a video up on the channel. I have a video up on the channel for most games actually, so if you're interested in more talk about one of these games, just check out the channel. Assassin's Creed Revelations, it is a really good finale in my opinion. It does Ezio justice, it does the Ezio trilogy justice, and I feel like Constantinople is one of the best locations we got, honestly, in the series. It's just full of history, and the location is fun, and the characters are interesting, even though the combat isn't deep enough for this game as compared to the other Assassin's Creed games. For example, Brotherhood, I feel like we had more options in Brotherhood. It does have a lot of unique stuff to it. The bomb mechanics are fun. You can craft specific types of bombs up to your own opinion on how you want them to be, which is a fun addition. The grapple hook thing is fun to use. It makes Ezio feel smoother to control and parkour with. There's a lot of different options for stealth, and the endgame stuff is also fun. These tower defense missions are interesting. It's a nice break from the usual Assassin's Creed grind that we have in these games. There's a lot of uniqueness in this game, and it does focus a lot on the Assassins and Templars, which is something that we haven't seen in a while, so I do appreciate that, and I feel like it's just an all-around great finale. It might not be as good as Assassin's Creed Brotherhood or Assassin's Creed Black Flag or other games, but as a finale, it does its purpose, and it's just fun. You know, it's a simple game that you put in, play through, enjoy the vibes, and it's just fun to go through. And I do appreciate that. It reminds me of Uncharted 3, actually. I don't like Uncharted 3 as much as I like 2, but I do enjoy every minute of it, and I think it was well worth the wait, and it does close the story of Nathan Drake in a fun way. Even if they decided to open it again in Uncharted 4, there's more of a tangent. Point is, the game is fun, and I think you should give it a shot if you played Assassin's Creed 2 and Brotherhood. I don't think you should play this game if you didn't play the other two. Other games in the series, I could recommend you playing them if you didn't play anything else, but with this game specifically, I think you should play Assassin's Creed 1, 2, and Brotherhood before playing Revelations. So that's all for today's ranking. These are my last 5 spots in the Assassin's Creed ranking 9 to 13. The next video is gonna be 4 to 8, so that's my next one. If you're interested in that, be sure to check the channel, subscribe to check it for the next time, be ready for it. And again, don't take this with insult, this is my ranking. If you like it in another way, let me know down in the comments. I know that a lot of people like Unity and they would rank it as a top 3 Assassin's Creed. I know that a lot of people like Valhalla as well, and they would rank it higher. I know that a lot of people like Assassin's Creed 1 and they would put it as their top game of all time. But this is my opinion, so let me know your opinion down in the comments. Thank you for watching this far, I really do appreciate it. My channel is about Assassin's Creed, so anything else you're interested in, check the channel. There's a video about most of the Assassin's Creed games, and I'm gonna be releasing the next step of this ranking hopefully soon. It is a little bit of a stressful time for me with the school and university, so it might take more than I would like it to, but it is coming. And again, thank you for watching this long. Check out the channel, do the YouTube stuff, like, subscribe, anything you want to do, and as always, have a nice day.